Hi, welcome again to a very interesting conversation around Numpy and Pandas. In the previous video, we have concluded the introductory part to Numpy, and here our focus will be on Pandas. So let's scroll down to the part of the notebook that has some discussion and some concepts about Pandas. So what is Pandas? Pandas is very important, very interesting package in Python, and it is the most commonly used Python package for data analysis. Here we're going to define what Pandas data frame is, and I'll show you how to create a Pandas data frame and how to access them. Very important, because that is what you'll be using to store your data set moving forward as you dive into data analytics and analysis with Python. What exactly is Pandas data frame? Now, Pandas is a data manipulation tool which is built on the Numpy package. And now I hope you're beginning to see the reason why we started with Numpy, right? So Pandas is actually built on Numpy package. Pandas key data structure is the data frame. That is the main data structure that Pandas uses to store data. A data frame allows for the storage and manipulation of tabular data. It is a two-dimensional labeled data structure, and here is an image that I got from W3 Schools. So credits to W3 Schools for this resource. This image explains clearly the structure of a Pandas data frame. It has an index, so the first column is taken as the index of the data frame, and then there are several other columns that make up the data frame depending on how many columns you're working with. Then the entire table is called the data frame. Each column, when viewed separately, they are referred to as series, and then there are rows for each entry in the data frame. Okay, now that we've seen a pictorial representation of what Pandas data frame looks like, let's begin as we look at the more programmatic way of writing it or creating a Pandas data frame. So basically, you would say that the Pandas data frame consists of three main components: the data, the index, and the column, which we've discussed from the picture. Now let me walk you through some examples of how to gain some understanding of these components of a Pandas data frame. First of all, we'll begin by creating a data frame. Before I create a data frame, of course, we need to import the Pandas library, just like the Numpy library, which imported using an alias. We do the same thing for Pandas. For Pandas, the most common alias is PD. Pandas, like P for pan and D for das. So import Pandas as PD, as we import Numpy as NP. I hope these terminologies you're getting used to these interesting terminologies in Python. So from this first line, I hit on Shift Enter to import Pandas as PD. Now Pandas has been imported. It means I can begin creating my data frame and using every other functions and attributes and methods that comes along with Pandas. Next, let's talk about data frames from other data structures. We can create data frames from a list. We can create data frame from dictionary. We'll see those two examples right here in this video. Now I want to see how to create data frame from nested list. I have a list which I call list_df, and the list has some heterogeneous data. I have 32, Portugal 94. Those are the elements in one of the lists. Now the second list contains 30, Argentina 93. The third list contains 25, Brazil 92. So what do I intend to do with this list? What I'm going to do in this video is to take each of these lists and put them on separate cells, so that as I run the codes one after the other, you see the outputs or the effect. I'm going to create a new cell above this existing one, and I'm pasting my code right there. So with this, once I hit on Shift Enter, the list called list_df is created, the nested list that I've just created above. Now from the nested list, the nested list is one of the is there on its own. The next thing I want to do is to create index. Remember that Pandas data frame has different structures or has different parts. It has the data itself, the index. So let's create a list that will make up the index. So here is the index. In the index, I have list of some footballers. We have Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, and Neymar. Even though I am not crazy about football or soccer, I don't. Okay, let me just keep that to myself, right? So well, it's very important to work with examples that a lot of people can easily relate with. But if you are my kind of person, please forgive me. But if you're a footballer or you love football, then I know you'll be happy with this part of this code or this video. Even if you don't want to learn how to code in Python, once you see this example, I know you're happy to learn Python. So let's continue. So this will form the entry in my index, names of players. All right, and the columns. So what do I want to be the column name? So I have age, nationality, and overall. So I believe now you're beginning to see what this collection here means, what each of them mean here. So for this, the first values you see here, 32, 30, and 29, those are ages. Then Portugal, Argentina, and Brazil, those are nationality. And finally, we have 92, 94, and 93. Those are overall. Now that is what the data set in the list of df contains. And when we run these two, let me take these two other lists out of this cell so that I can have just the code that creates the actual data frame in that very cell. I'll paste them here and run this cell. Now Python has stored in its memory the list_df, index, and columns. The last step we need to take to create the data frame is to call the method data frame. Please take note of how this method is called. The D is capitalized, the F is also capitalized. So if you write it all in lowercase, Python will not identify or recognize that. If you write all in all capital case or uppercase, Python will also not recognize that. So it's important you spell your data frame with the capital D and capital F. So I have pd.dataframe in a curved bracket data. So what's my data? My data is what? List_df. These are the attributes of data frame. You have to specify where the data will be coming from. Now what do I want to take as the index? My index is the list of the players. And what are the columns? My columns are these: age, nationality, and overall, which I store in a variable called columns. Once we run this cell, the data frame has been created, and all this data we put on nested list, and list, they've all been added to one single table that comprise of both different types of different data type. Now each index. We have each index here as the names of the players. We have each column to have the age, nationality, and overall, and it makes more sense and it's well presented. Do you see how beautiful Pandas data frame can look? So this is awesome. I hope this is getting more interesting as we move on. So that is how to create a Pandas data frame using list. Next, we want to see how to use dictionaries to create Pandas data frame. To create Pandas data frame with dictionary, all we need is this time around, we only need the data and we need the index. Why? Because the dictionary already has created a key value pair where we have the age already assigned to the numbers, which are the ages assigned to the key age. We have the countries assigned to nationality, which is the key, and we have overall the numbers assigned to the overall key in the dictionary. And next we have the index stated outside in a list. And finally, all we need to do is to call data frame and give it the data as the dictionary dict_df, and also assign the index as what has been listed here. And once you run your cell, the Pandas data frame has also been created, and it's similar to the one created above from list. Okay, next let's see how to create Pandas data frame yet with Numpy. Okay, this is very much similar to the one we created using list. Remember, we said Numpy and list are very similar. We have our array_df, the index and the column, just like what we have for the list. And we go ahead and call the same syntax as the one for the list. We call the data, give it array_df, the index and the columns. And once we run this cell, our data frame is also created. So far so good. You've learned how to create a Pandas data frame using a list, a dictionary or lists, dictionaries, and Numpy array. We can also create data frame from other kind of files. We'll see how to do that in the next video. Right now I'll stop here just to keep the videos very short. Don't want it to be so long. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you've learned something in this video. We're getting deeper into data analytics. We're getting closer and closer by the day. If you have any questions from this video, please leave your questions in the comment section, or you can reach out to us at Datafied Academy. If you're not yet one of our students, please enroll in various data analytics courses. We have different courses. We have short courses, boot camps for 1 month. We have the one for 4 months, 6 months, and so on. When you join us, you'll be happy you did. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you've not done so. Like this video and share. Thank you once more for watching this. We'll meet again in the next one. For now, goodbye.